It's noon here in Ventnor City, New Jersey, and our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And this is news that you can use for Thursday, July 18th from CarEdge with your host, me, Ray, and well, that other guy, Zach, 4 days away from his 29th birthday, ladies and gentlemen.
Hyping me up, man. Appreciate it.
What am I doing?
Hyping. You're hyping.
Well, I am Mr. Hype. Have been all my life. If I am nothing, I am not hype.
Folks, we have a sponsor for today's show that we'll be talking about in just a couple minutes, and a friendly reminder, CarEdge.com. If we can help you out with anything, we'd love to. We've got a big fun week ahead next week with my birthday, so stay tuned for that. Dad, the big story this morning, it is... Can I go there? Can I say shocking? Can I say it's shocking? Signs of widespread software outage revealed in June inventory data. We have a 110% increase year over year in new car inventory days supply, folks. You can see it right above our heads. While inventory days supply is 110% higher year over year, it is expected to normalize over the next 2 months as DMS, dealership management software functionality, is fully restored. That being said, Dad, new car inventory is up 52% year over year, and we've got some numbers on just how many cars weren't sold during this software.
I have a question. I have a question.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. They expect it to get back to normal over the next couple months or so. What does that mean? What is normal?
All right, we'll jump right to it. Here is the new vehicle 30-day sales trend, and that's the chart over here on the left, the blue one. So you can see this is the 30-day sales trend for the auto industry back on June 3rd. We were in a 30-day period moving a little over 1 million cars. Then for the week of June 10th, we were moving a little more than 1 million. So what does normal mean, Dad? We went all the way down to moving 800,000 cars. We lost 200,000 car sales as a result of the CDK software outage. The expectation here is that that'll come back up. But in the meantime, you have a 100 and almost 20 days supply of inventory for the entire auto industry, which is the highest they've seen. I'll scroll up here since April 2020.
So I'm going to pursue my sick train of thought. What's normal? What was that day supply number say on June 8th as opposed to July 8th? I guess I understand that there's a 116-day supply of cars because there were sales that were lost due to the CDK incident, ransomware, cyber attack. Those were the words I was looking for. But what was that number prior? Was it 100 days? Was it 105 days?
We know days supply has been building. Days supply, for those of you that are unfamiliar, is how many days it would take to sell all available inventory based on current sales data, sales rates, if the dealership or if the industry got no new cars. So 116 days is up significantly. It had been during the pandemic 30, 40, 50 days, which was super low.
Yes.
And it's up 110% year over year. So even just year over year.
I get all that. I get all that. I guess what I'm struggling with is, yes, it's up 110% year over year. How much is it up month over month? I guess
we can look at that.
I guess that's the question I'm asking. Is automotive news painting an artificially bad picture, or because I don't understand what suddenly.
Here it is, Dad. Here it is.
Okay.
It's not automotive news. This is Cox Automotive. Last month,
so it's up. It's up 26. It's up 42 days up. That's huge.
Month over month, the days supply of inventory went up by 42 days. Yeah.
Now, here's where I need help. I need help with this math. Because I'm not saying what we're talking about is BS, what I'm about to say, in my opinion, I believe what Automotive News is talking about.
This is
is
Cox
BS.
Automotive.
Okay, Cox Automotive is BS. And here's the reason I say that. The inventory went up 200,000 units. Does 200,000 units really equal a 42-day supply? I'm just asking for a friend. Because my guess is that if we do the math, it does not. I'm just saying.
So you're thinking maybe the picture is actually a little bit worse than what's being projected, because again, the commentary
I'm thinking the picture's actually a little bit better than what they're trying to project. I'm thinking that maybe that 74-day supply of cars with an additional 200,000 units now suddenly being available because they couldn't have been transacted last month. Maybe the day supply, maybe that impacted the day supply 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 42 days. I'm calling BS on that. That just seems unrealistically high. It just does. Doesn't it to you? I mean, if you try and do the math, is this one of those rare cases?
Bear with me, Dad. Let's help Alan out. Let's help everyone out. What's the point here, right? I actually want to take a step back because I could listen to you banter on days supply number. What's the point? What's the point? The point is you have more new car inventory today than you did yesterday. You have more new car inventory today than you did a year ago. You had a sales slowdown in June and in the early part of July. Both of those two things combined to record-setting days supply of inventory, which means if anyone goes and drives by a car dealership lot, you're going to see more cars today. What does more cars mean? More cars means more negotiating power, more incentives. We've got some of that data here as well about Ram 1500 sales actually being stronger because they incentivized them so much.
I buy all that. I really do. I think they're painting a worse picture than it really is. I think if you honestly believe for a second that there's now suddenly 116-day supply of cars as opposed to 74, then you would extrapolate from that with such a much larger day supply that the ability to negotiate would be greater than it's ever been.
Since April of 2020, yeah.
Yeah, and I do believe that day supply is going up, and I do believe negotiability is going up. I don't believe day supply is going up as much as they've projected, which to me would indicate that negotiability, even though it's going up, wouldn't be going up as high as one would suspect if day supply actually went up to 116 days. That's my point. Yes, I think the numbers indicate that it should be, based on what manufacturers are doing to support their brands, it should be a better time for people to be able to get a better deal. I just don't think the numbers support. I don't think the deals will support what the numbers suggest it should be. That was my point.
Interesting take from Pops. All right, we're going to switch gears and we're going to welcome our sponsor, Dad. We are also going to be talking about in a moment. There's an even bigger, as I freeze, man. Just I love it. Get the new laptop and now I freeze. Like
you do all the time.
Really frustrating. All right. Anyway, folks, we're going to be talking in a moment about data. And the reason we're going to talk about data is because there's a big push to sell your data. Data brokers are selling our data online and anyone can buy it. That's why we're really proud to have Delete Me join deleteme.com/CarEdge as a sponsor of today's show. Things like your phone number, your social security number, your home address, they're all sold online. I know you just the other day, Dad, were receiving phone calls from people that somehow found your phone number. We got to get you on Delete Me, man. We got to get you on Delete Me. That information is available to scammers, hackers, marketers, and everyone in between. Delete Me, I have signed up. Dad, I'll actually pull it up on the screen. I got my latest privacy report just the other day, and you can see my information has been removed hundreds of times. We've reviewed 1,648 listings. 107 listings with my information have been removed. 30 data brokers. They took my information away from 30 data brokers and 161 different places online where my personally identifiable information was. Well, Dad, delete me. Obviously, they're removing my information. We got to get you signed up. Maybe, Pops, what you do is you get started with a 20% off coupon with CarEdge. Join deleteme.com/CarEdge. Do you think you'll ever sign up? Do you think you will?
Well,
You
I don't
get
know.
it for free from me, but will you sign up?
You keep telling me we have a family plan, okay, and you haven't shared it with me. So apparently you don't love your father as much as I thought you had. You would have signed me up already. What the hell are you waiting for? I want to be able to extol the virtues of Delete Me as emphatically as you have. I have no idea, though.
This comes on the heels, Dad, of this article in Automotive News this morning. Fleet customers' data could generate revenue if automakers can learn to share. Deals illustrate how badly automakers want data generating tracking used. The admiration or the disdain, excuse me, that I have for how the industry is approaching data is through the roof. This is a great example. Fleet customers are obviously like rental car companies, government fleets, etc. All these automakers want is to create computers that then track information that they can then sell. Remember, we had the story earlier this year with General Motors, who was selling that data to LexisNexis, that was then selling the data to insurance companies, that was then one of the justifications to increase your auto insurance rates. You can't be too surprised to hear that this is also happening in fleet land.
No, I mean, you know, they want to be able to track all kinds of data, and they want to be able to sell it. You know, especially if they're beginning to realize that their inflated idea as to how much revenue software sales was going to bring in, software subscriptions, which ain't anywhere near what they had projected, then, well, they've got to find other ways to make up that loss of money that they had anticipated. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I need Delete Me, buddy, and we need to make it happen.
In 2022, Ford said it expected Ford Pro, which is where they get some of their software revenues, to grow to $45 billion in revenue in 2025. As of the first quarter of 24, it was $18 billion. So it's still a huge business for them. But like, yeah, every automaker has kind of attached their horse to, or attach their carriage. They attach their horse and the carriage to the idea of selling data and software, and it's not materializing. We've seen it even with things, for example, beyond the data, like subscribe for features in the car. Remember when BMW was going to charge us monthly fees to subscribe to heated seats, or Mercedes-Benz was going to charge a monthly fee to access more acceleration in your vehicle? We've seen these things get a lot of pushback, fortunately, I think, and well-deserved.
We see these things spoken about. And we see these things spoken about in a manner that would indicate they expect to rake in silly kinds of cash, and then it doesn't happen. It's almost akin to their push to EVs, okay, where that was going to happen much faster than it's happened, and now most of the manufacturers are backing away from a lot of their EV plans. So everything they project is like, while they're all wearing these really expensive rose-colored glasses, and they're all patting each other on the back about how much money they're going to rake in from all these new endeavors, and then one day they have to take off those glasses and realize maybe they were just virtually patting each other on the back, because it ain't happening.
There was new EV registration data that just came out. US EV registrations rose 9.6% in May on incentives, but Tesla fell for the fourth month. We've got 31 different brands selling battery electric vehicles, representing 7.5% of the US light vehicle market. It is hard, Dad, with all of the incentives to pass up some of these EV deals. I mean, we talked about it earlier this week. You can lease a Ford F-150 Lightning for the same price that you can lease a Ford Maverick, even though the Ford Maverick is half the price of the Lightning. Same thing goes for the Cadillac Lyriq. The lease prices year over year are down 50% in some regions. So like, Yeah, they're paying for it. Just like I actually forgot to reference it. Ram 1500 sales were up significantly last month because they've incentivized them so much. So like we are finally starting to see, because things aren't selling and inventory is building, they are having to. So I hear your connection, and the data is pretty interesting.
It's amazing what can happen when you have to significantly lower your prices in order to attract your customers. You have heard me say this before. People who have watched this show or listened to our podcast might remember me saying this. There was a time many, many years ago when Ray, your dad, had a Golf USA franchise in Mesa, Arizona from 1988 to 1993. And the best sales day, volume wise, I ever had was on my first day of my going out of business sale. So I just proved on that particular day that if you slash your prices low enough, you can sell anything. And so the EV makers are finding that if you put large enough incentives on the EVs to lower the prices, people will buy them. If you are Ram and you've produced severely overpriced pickup trucks and your sales have declined significantly, 19-20% over the last year, that you can reverse that trend if you put large incentives on them to encourage people to buy them. This is not a mystery. People will buy anything when the perceived value of what they're buying is less than what they're asked to pay for it.
You can see it right here. We've got Stellantis shows some hope with its two top 30 sellers, the Jeep Wrangler and Ram 1500. Recent incentives are likely helping to move that metal. That's exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing the prices get slashed.
Can I help them? It's not likely helping. Take likely out of it. Okay? Its incentives are helping. It's just that simple. Okay, you don't think people suddenly decided to wake up one day and go, okay, now I'm buying a Ram or a Jeep because there's no incentives. I just woke up and I realized I can't live without it. No, it was the incentives. They didn't likely help. They helped. That's what did it. My big sale day wasn't because I hoped that the prices would be lower. No, because I lowered the damn prices.
Here's an example, Dad. This was a recent deal on a Ram 1500. You can see here the MSRP on this thing is insane. $73,540. We helped the customer with this back at CarEdge.com. And before you say it, but Zach, there's a protection package for $1,800. That was ultimately removed from the final bill of sale. This is a $12,000 discount, $11,796 discount on a $73,500 pickup truck. That's just the dealer discount, man. I mean, that is how you sell these things. And this was a deal that was done last week. So this is very, very recent. I mean, this is the type of stuff you should expect to see out there. You're buying a $73,540 truck, which is absurd, and you're getting it for $61,744. That's what you need to see more of. And that's why you're seeing EV sales go up as well, because I could pull up the BZ4X insane lease incentives. I could pull up the Lyric. Like, that's what's happening.
That's what moving the metal. It is the incentives. Okay. It is the lowering the cost to the consumer, the ultimate cost to the consumer to get in on it. That's what moves it. I had a area vice president that used to remind us all the time that if your customer hasn't said yes yet to purchasing the vehicle, it's simply because you haven't lowered the price enough yet. That's what it is. And incentives are what allow the manufacturer, the dealer, to lower the price enough where somebody's head starts going like this instead of like this. It's it's not that big of a mystery. I'm sorry I get all hyped up over this, but it's just it just seems like common sense that if you've raised the price of your goods to the point where people stopped buying them, the way to get them to buy them again is to lower the damn price. And it just seems to me to stand to reason.
100%, man. 100%. We're seeing more and more of that. Let's jump to the chat here, Pops, before we continue on. Thank you, Baron.
Yes,
Gray Matter. Appreciate it. Since, like me, Ray, you saw the transition from horse and buggy to car.
yes.
Why did selling cars become so dishonest? Why are they like this?
When and why did selling cars become so dishonest? It's because it's a commission-based business. You know, the salesperson is incentivized to make as much profit as possible because they get a percentage of that profit. So if pay plans were changed from, say, strictly commission to salaried with a volume bonus based on the number of vehicles that are sold at a reasonable profit based on advertised prices that the salesperson could actually sell the car for, then it wouldn't be dishonest. There wouldn't be this need to hide things, to create protection packages or other forced add-ons. So the pay plans have to change. It has to become a salaried position, where one is incentivized to actually help the customer instead of trying to figure out a way to extract as much out of the customer as possible. So that's my theory.
And it's always been that way, and unfortunately, it probably will stay that way for the foreseeable future. Not how we work, though, at CarEdge.com. Chloepo. Thank you, Chloepo. EVs are still in beta. Solid state will be for the future. Yeah, there is still... Look at me freezing up, man.
You're frozen again, buddy. You are, I hate when that happens.
I do, too. Anyway, it's all good. Chloepo, I think you got a really valid point here. EVs are still very early in their adoption cycle, but the price points are becoming much more attainable, so that'll get more people in them.
And truth be told, nobody's working harder on solid state batteries for EVs than Toyota. They are the ones that hope to be the ones that can actually make it work, where it increases range, it decreases pricing. They're the ones that are trying to change the battery chemistry. If it works, great. If it doesn't, who knows? I don't know what the future holds for this stuff. My guess is that 20 years from now, there's a whole nother fad, and it might not have anything to do with electricity. I don't know what it'll have to do with, but
you'll have to do with something.
Water. I love salt water, buddy.
Let's see if we can help out a couple folks in the community. Dad from KGG. I've seen cars dropping for a good bit now. The problem is some people only look at one or two dealerships. If you're spending several $1,000s, actually look around. Deals are out there. I think this is really solid advice. You got to go outside your market area to be, if you want the easiest possible, just go to the dealer down the street. Don't negotiate, don't haggle, don't do anything. That's fine.
Just say yes to the first number. They'll love you. It'll be the greatest experience you ever had. They'll lavish you with gifts and everything else because you said yes. You made it easy. You made it easy for them. You made it easy for yourself. But if what you're trying to do is save as much money as possible, that requires work. And that might require some travel, and it might require phone calls and emails and visits to, 10, 12, 15, 20 dealerships until you find the one that finally says, damn it, we're going to give you everything you're asking for because we just want your business.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of work. Use the email templates. They're free. They're back on CarEdge.com. Google search email templates, CarEdge, and it'll pop up. Desi Fitness. I'm looking to buy a BMW X7. Big SUV.
It is indeed.
Do you believe BMW is likely impacted like other manufacturers? Impacted in the sense that has an oversupply of inventory? Let's take a peek. I'm going to go to CarEdge.com, go into the car search pops, and that was a BMW X7.
Yes, and BMW is the #1 selling luxury brand in the United States.
There are 3,869 new BMW X7s for sale nationwide. Look at that. The first one on the list here is an Alpina. That is a very nice one. Wow, 2 Alpinas and an M. These are look at these price points, folks.
Let's pick the 3 most expensive right off the bat. Yeah.
All right, here's one that's more of like a 40i. This is a more reasonable price point. All right, you can see the target discount here. What I'm interested in, days supply. Yeah, only a 69 days supply. So these are selling pretty good. You've got a lot of people with a lot of money buying these. This is in Atlanta. That's where my zip code's currently set to. But yeah, this gives you a sense. I don't think BMW is impacted by anything. The X7 seems like folks are buying it.
No, and let's face it, people aren't necessarily buying it as much as they are leasing it. You know, the vast majority of BMW sales are actually leases, for a multitude of reasons. One, those people realize that to buy it is financial suicide, because the values drop like a rock certainly after the warranty expires.
Yeah.
And well, it does.
No, I'm going to do something while you're going on this tangent. I'm actually going to I'm very curious to see if we even cover X7s.
Well, I'm sure we do. They're just expensive. And so, you know, trust me, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if 60 to 65% of X7 sales, maybe even slightly higher, are leased and not actually sold.
Let's see here, Pops. I don't even know if we have the X7. Yes, we do.
Yeah, come on, man.
And we're in Arizona, sure.
Sure, I like Arizona. It's hardly hot at all there.
6,000. Actually, that's not, I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more. We make our $600, so the wholesale cost to cover a BMW X7 for 10 years and 100,000 miles is $6,168. We make our $600. So there you go. Interesting.
Seems like a lot of money to me.
Like a lot of money, but you're buying 100 and whatever. Very expensive.
Well, that one was a 93,000 mile, X7. But I mean, what is a more reasonable Asian brand that would have a vehicle price like some type of Lexus? Has to be somewhere near that price point, I would think.
All righty, let's see. I don't even have a Lexus. I don't have an option here. Let me try 23 real quick. Maybe it's like a GX 460. There we go. Moment of truth. All righty.
I mean, I'm just saying.
$2,512. Yeah, wholesale cost $1,900. Yeah, all right. The BMWs are expensive. Anyway, seems like they're selling off. They're selling though. There's not a huge days supply, that's for sure.
Yes, the BMW does a great job of maintaining their customer base. They, between owner loyalty and everything else, and the fact that they lease most of their vehicles, those customers are coming back every 3 years, and they do everything in their power to keep them coming back. And if you're leasing the thing, you don't have to worry about that $6,100 extended warranty. You're frozen again. My God, it looks like a mugshot this time.
This is what you get for spending, $2,000 on a stupid freaking computer, man. Anyway, all right, let's come here to the
brand.
Chat. It's a Mac. It's one of the new Macs. I got to figure out how to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Cloapo says, thank you, Cloapo. With discount not worth it, crazy depreciation. I think that's back to the X7. Yeah, I think we're all right there with you. And we've got from Reclamation Project. Thank you, the Reclamation Project. It's not hot in Arizona today. Only 110.
I used to say, my brother thought I was nuts. Uncle Ken thought I was nuts when I would say, for me, it doesn't get hot until after it goes above 110. 110 and below, I was still comfortable. 111 and up, That was friggin' hot.
That's the threshold, folks. We've got from Michael P. Thank you again for that. Michael, thank you. My compliments. You two have such outstanding chemistry and are very informative. You are performing a great service. I wish you the best. What a kind,
Well,
what a kind. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Wow.
Really appreciate that, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah.
We enjoy getting to do this every day together.
We hope that we are as entertaining as we are informative and educational. And if you don't mind a little entertainment with your information and education, we're perfect for you and we're perfect together. If that's not your likes, well, I don't know what to tell you.
And then we've got here from Blake. Hey, Zach, did you get your noisy ad problem fixed? Please, it really spoils something that is great. We haven't had any Hyundai ads popping up since that show. So yeah, fortunately, that seems resolved from a few days ago. That was annoying,
but funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are going to be going live early tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. The reason we're going live early tomorrow is I am doing a weekend camping trip in Deep Creek Lake, Maryland with the Triathlon Club. So I need to leave before our noon show. So we're going to go live early tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. You really want to tune in. We're going to be teasing the big birthday celebration event of next week. But 9:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, we will be live here on the Ray and Zach channel.
Can I say one thing before we go?
Of course.
Maybe at 9:30 tomorrow, I might not have showered yet. We'll find out. But you know, the one thing I have discovered when I think about this every day in the shower, and I don't know how to stop myself from doing it. I get my shampoo, I put it in my hand. Okay.
Why do you use shampoo? You don't have hair.
And then I put it in the middle of my head, like I'm rubbing it into my hair there. There's no hair there. Okay. Why do I insist on putting it in the middle of my head and then I use conditioner. Okay. And I start in the middle of my damn head. The only thing I'm conditioning is my skin. There's no hair there. What the hell is wrong with me? Why don't I do it like on the sides where there really is hair? I'm sorry. I just had to mention that. So tomorrow, tune in at 9:30 and see if Ray actually shampooed and conditioned and
his scalp
and product his hair.
You do more hair care than I do. I haven't used shampoo or conditioner in years.
You do shower though.
I shower, yeah. I just don't use shampoo or conditioner. So
okay, well that's why you get curls, and that's probably why I've lost most of my hair.
You're funny, man. All right, folks, we'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. Just watch it later on in the day, folks, on the West Coast.
You got all day to watch it.
Thank you so much for everything, and yeah, enjoy the day, everyone.
Yep, you too, handsome. Love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.